Hi guys, it's been a while. This is Joanna. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this night robe. Let's get straight to the tutorial. So these are the materials that I'm going to be using for this tutorial. So I have my rulers, my care rulers. I have 2 yards of Ankara fabric, a piece of chalk, a measuring tape, and then half yard of satin, which I forgot to add to this. So we are first of all going to cut the front part of the rope. So to do that, we are going to consider that of our hip measurement, which is 39 inches. So that divided by 4 gives us 9.5 inches. Alright, so getting the 9.5 inches, I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance to it and then add additional 2 inches for the overlapping at the front part of it. So that's what I just folded. So in total, we are going to have 12.5 on fold. You are going to fold this 12.5. So I'm just going to fold down the 2 inches overlap at the front part of the rope like this, and then I'll flat iron it. So guys, if you are here and have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you are watching on Facebook, consider following this page, and then like this video, share this video, and then leave a comment on your thoughts on this tutorial. Alright, so after folding the 2 inches overlap at the front part of the robe, you are going to consider the length. The length of this robe is 37 inches. So I'm adding 1.5 inches for the shoulder seam allowance and then 1 inch for the down folding. So making it 38.5 inches. So that's what I'm going to be marking. So guys, I'll go ahead and then cut out the front part of the robe. Alright, now to cut the back part of the robe, you have to still consider that of your hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch seam allowance. So that means the hip divided by 4, which is 9.5 inches, plus the 1 inch seam allowance, which makes it 10.5 inches, is what we are going to be folding, or that is what's been folded right now. So that's it. On fold, we have 10.5 inches. Then we are going to be maintaining the same length as that of the front part of the robe. So like I said, we folded 10.5 inches like this. Then we maintain the length of the robe. So just as the front part of the robe was 37 inches, that is what you're going to be using for the back part as well. So that is 37 inches for the full length of the robe plus 1 inch for the down seam allowance and then the shoulder seam allowance, making 38.5 inches. I hope I'm making sense. 1 inch for the folding at the down part and then ½ inch for the shoulder joint. So that's what I am marking. Now then go ahead and then cut the back part of the robe out as well. Alright, now so you are going to be doing the cutting. So I first of all place the back part of the robe down. Then I'm going to place that of the front part of the robe on top of it like this. So remember the folded parts on the front part of the robe. So that's it. Okay, I just went ahead to make sure I flat iron it to make it more flat. So I'll go ahead to mark and then to cut out the neckline. So the neckline width is going to be 3.5 inches like this. That's what I'm going to be using. This is optional depending on how wide you want it to be. So 3.5 inches for the width and then 3.5 inches for the depth. That is for the front part of the robe. Okay, I will now do the marking for the back part of the robe on the front part of the robe. Just as I'm doing, I will maintain the weight and then I'll go down 1.5 inches for the depth for the back part neckline. I will maintain the weight, which is 3.5 inches. Then I will go down 1.5 inches for the back part of the robe. So that's it. Now I'll go ahead and then give it a curve like this around neckline. So I curve it this way. Now we will leave the curve for the front part for now, and then cut out the neckline for the back part like this. We'll later attend to that of the front part of it. I forgot to mark out the armhole, so I just have to replace the neckline for the back and then get that of our armhole. So the shoulder to shoulder measurement is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5 plus ½ inch allowance. That gives us 8 inches. So that's what I'm marking right now. Now for the armhole depth, divide your bust measurement by 6, and then whatever results we had, I'm going to add 3 inches to it for easiness. I'm going to add 3 inches to it. So I had 9.5 inches for that. Remember, this is not a fitted dress, so that's the reason I added a 3 inches for easiness. So after getting this, you're going to mark the shoulder slope. So I'm going down 2 centimeters on the shoulder line and then connect it to the neckline like so. I went down 2 centimeters on the shoulder line and then connected it to the neckline. So I'm going to cut this out. Before then, find the midpoint of the armhole depth. That is the armhole depth divided by 2, starting from where the shoulder slopes like this. Find the midpoint of it and then mark it like this. And then come out 1.5 centimeters like this. And use your armhole curve, or you can use your freehand if you don't have the curve ruler, the armhole curve ruler. Then mark out your armhole just as I'm doing. Mark out your armhole just as I'm doing. I realized the chalk was faint after recording the video. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to cut this out. I'll first cut the shoulder slope and then cut out the armhole. Okay guys, so after that has been achieved, I'm going to take out the back part and then focus on the front part of the robe. So this is it. I'm going to go down from the neckline 17 inches. From the neckline 17 inches, and then I will use my ruler to join or connect that to that of the neckline and then the shoulder. I don't know if I'm making sense here. So I'm just connecting it to the shoulder like this. I'm connecting it to the shoulder like this. Okay, so this being marked, I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to cut this out. Alright, so after cutting it out, I'm going to slit open the folded part as well. So I'm going to go ahead and then shape the front part a little bit by curving it like this. So that's it. Okay guys, so I'll go ahead and then place the front part on the table like this, and then place the back part of it with the right side facing each other, and then I'm going to be joining this with 1/2 inch I'm going to be joining the shoulders with half of an inch, like so. So that's exactly, I'm just pinning them down before taking it to the same machine to join the shoulders with half of an inch. Remember, this is right side facing each other. And I'm going to do the sewing on the wrong side of the fabric. So that's it. After joining the shoulders, I just went ahead to flat iron it off camera. So at this point, we are going to be cutting that of our sleeves. Now the sleeve length is 11 inches, but then we are going to be adding 2 inches of the white plain fabric to it. So we deduct that from the 11, which makes 9. Then we are going to add 1 inch seam allowance, making it 10, half inch to join the down part, and then half inch on the top to join it to that of the armhole. So we are having 10 inches right now. So I'm going to be cutting 2 pieces of this. Now unfold, I consider that of my round sleeve measurement. My round sleeve measurement plus at least 3 inches seam allowance for easiness. 3 inches, that is 2 inches for easiness, and then 1 inch for the seam allowance. That's it. Divide your your round sleeve measurement by 2, and then add 2 inches for easiness and then additional 1 inch for the seam allowance. So like I said, we have 2 pieces of the plain fabric as well. So that's what I'm going to be using to attach the sleeve. So I cut unfold 2.5 inches, meaning the length of it is 5 inches, and then the width is the same as that of the sleeve length. So it is 2.5 now. So I'm folding in the half inch unfold. I hope you understand what I mean. Unfold is 2.5. If you spread it out, it is 5 inches. So I'm folding the half inch. Remember, I said we are going to be attaching 2 inches to the sleeve. So the half which you are going to be using to make the joining is what I'm folding. Guys, please, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like this video, and then share this video. Let's continue with the tutorial. So I spread out one of the sleeve like this. I open it up like this. I'm going to be attaching the white fabric to it. So I will place the right side of the plain fabric on the wrong side of the main fabric, and then I'm going to join it with half of an inch like this. So I will turn it over like this. I'm going to turn it over like this, and then I'll fold the other half. Remember, we folded the white fabric, so I'm going to fold over the half inches on the other side. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just watch what I'm doing. You understand me? So that was the half inch that we folded. I used one of the half inch to join the main fabric, and then I'm going to fold it over and top stitch it. Before that, I'm going to fold back the white fabric and then flat iron it before I take it to the sewing machine. I'm going to do same for the other sleeve as well. I will now take it to the sewing machine and then stitch it down. Do same for the other sleeve as well. So now that you've attached the white fabric to the main fabric, I'm going to continue with the cutting of the sleeve. Now to cut this sleeve, you have to consider that of your round seam measurement. Remember, we added 2 inches for easiness. So divide your round sleeve measurement by 2. Add the 2 inches for easiness, and then add 1 inch for seam allowance. So that's what I marked. Okay. After that, to get the armhole curve on your sleeve, measure that of your armhole. Measure your armhole to use that to cut the armhole on the sleeve. So that's what I'm doing exactly. Measure your armhole on the robe. Yeah, measure your armhole on the robe to determine what you are going to be marking on the sleeve. So on the robe, I measured the armhole with both the back and the front part of the robe together. So whatever measurement that I had, remember the sleeve is also on full, so that's what I'm going to replace on the sleeve. So this is how I'm just going to get the sleeve. So I'll connect it to the allowance that we had on the round sleeve measurement like this and cut this out. So on the curve, I came down about 3 inches. I came down about 3 inches or 3.5 inches to get that of the curve. So look at how I did it with my free hand. That's how it came out. So I'm just going to connect the curve to that of the seam allowance. Sorry, the extra that we have. Okay, so I'll use the first sleeve to cut that of the other sleeve. So I'm going to be attaching the sleeve to the robe. So I'm going to open up the robe like this. I'm going to open it up like this to get to the full armhole, and then I'm also going to open the sleeve. I'll take one of the sleeve and then open it up and make sure that the middle, sorry, I gave it notches off camera, so make sure the middle or the center of the sleeve is facing the center of your armhole, and then pin it down like this all round. Put them together like this, pin them all round. Then do same for the other side as well. Do same for the other armhole as well. Now, after pinning them down, take to the sewing machine and then join them with 1/2 inch all round. Join the sleeve to the armhole with 1/2 inch. So like I said, I did same for the other side as well. So that has been done. That is done. Okay, so now that is done, I'm going to be joining the sides of the robe. Remember, we added 1 inch seam allowance to the robe and then to the sleeve, so I'm going to be joining the sides with 1 inch, which is the seam allowance that we had. So place them like this. Make sure you don't curve this. The 1 inch seam allowance that we had, I'm going to be using that to join the sides like so. So I'm just making sure my measurement is accurate. So I measured my round sleeve and then I'm going to take it down. Make sure when you reach the armhole area like this, you don't curve. Make it straight and then join it together like this with 1 inch. When you reach the armhole center, it may reduce. It might reduce. Make sure you don't curve it just to make the 1 inch accurate. It may be 1/2 inch. Don't bother, just join it like so. So I joined both sides with 1 inch, which is the seam allowance. I'm going to open it up. So this is how it came out. I'm going to open up I'm going to turn it to the right side of the robe like this, and then focus on the overlapping or the middle of the robe. Now before I attach the white fabric to the front part of the robe, I'm going to measure all round. I'm going to take measurements all round the robe like this to get how long I need to cut that of the white fabric to join that of the robe. So I reach here, then I continue the measurements like so. So whatever I had, I'm going to cut same length as that of the white fabric, unfold, which is 2.5 inches, and then the length as long as what I had on the robe. So the width is 2.5 inches, just as I said, like this, and then the length is that of how long the front part of the robe is. So I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch like this. Remember, this is on fold, just as I said. This is 2.5, so when you open it up, it is 5 inches. So I'm folding up the 1/2 inch like so. This is the same as how we did the sleeve. It's the same as how we did the sleeve. So I'm going to fold the 2.5 all around. Sorry, I'm going to fold a 1/2 inch in. So just as we did for the sleeve, I'm going to place the right side of the plain fabric on the wrong side of the fabric like so, and then join it with 1/2 inch all round. So just as I'm doing like this, and then I'll attach it to the wrong side of the fabric, then join it all round like so. So this is how it came out after joining it. So I'm going to go ahead. I mean, I already notched this. I already notched this all around. This is what I mean. I make sure I notch it all around. I did it off camera. So that's it. Okay, so after that, I'm going to fold back the white fabric like so. Just as, like I said, just as we did for the sleeve. And make sure to flat iron it to make it neat before I take it to the sewing machine to also stitch it down. So like this, I'm going to fold in back the 1/2 inch and then flat iron it like this on the rope. So guys, this is how it came out after flat iron it. So I went ahead to pin it down. Then I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and then stitch it down or top stitch it all round. Let's do that and come back. Okay, so this is how it came out after top stitching it. So we are done with the front part. It's left with the down part of the robe. So I'm just going to fold in 1/2 inch and then fold in again 1/2 inch. Remember, we added 1 inch at the down part for the folding. So fold in half and then fold again 1/2 inch all around and then stitch it down. So this is how I first of all flat ironed it. This is how I meant. So that is done after stitching it. I hope I'm not moving too fast. If you don't understand anything, leave it in the comment section and then I'll attend to it. So that's done. Just as you cut a long piece for the front part of the robe, make sure you cut as long as you want with a weight of 2.5 inches on fold, and then the length to your preference for the belt that we are going to be attaching to it. So this is how we are going to join the belt. On fold like this, you are going to first of all sew it like this, and then you are going to sew it like this and then curve all the way down to the length. So that is done. Take your pencil, whatever you have, and then on where you join the weight, push your pencil in and then pull it out like this to get your belt. Okay, so after achieving this, just flat iron it as usual. Flat iron it, and then before that, the open side or the open end of the belt, fold it in like this. Fold it in like this, and then flat iron it. Fold it in and then flat iron it. Then take it to the same machine to top stitch it to close it up. So that is also done. So we are done with the belt. So this is basically your robe. Thank you for watching. If you didn't understand anything, leave it in the comment section. If you enjoyed this tutorial, like this video, share this video to your friends and family. I love you guys. Stay tuned for my next tutorial. Stay blessed wherever you are and keep being amazing. Bye.